Foreshadowing my inevitable failure. Oh, why hello. Isn't this a fun and interesting angle to start out on? So my name is Doug, and a lot of you that I'm gonna share this with know who I am. But I used to try and do this like a long time ago when I was skinnier and more naive. I don't have an intro because I made one like 4 years ago and it's really bad. So if you want to go see that, you can go see that. I really wanted to jump back into making videos because I had an idea. A lot of times we feel so alone because of our own like personal qualms that we deal with and like who we are, and we feel like it's so specific to us that no one else can relate to it. So I want to take this opportunity to kind of touch on topics that I deal with and hopefully can reach a broader audience and make people maybe feel a little bit less alone, maybe enlighten them on some truths they may not know about themselves. So this is the series I'd like to start. It's called Defining Me. And basically what I'd like to do, like I said, is just pick some topics, pick some ideas that are, relevant to my life and my stories and share them with you guys and see if we can find some commonality and maybe we can have some enlightened discussions. So the first topic I'd like to address is the topic of asexuality. And now, to set the record straight, I am what the locals call a homosexual male. That means I am attracted to my gender, the same gender, man. Men. So, going through college, I identified as bisexual because there was a part of me that did believe that I was attracted to women. And having some experiences with women, I learned that is not the case. But that also in turn led me to believe that my body and my mentality operate on two different levels. Physically, I'm clearly attracted to men. I can go over the science with you, but I think you know what I mean when I say that I am physically attracted to men. However, I have never made a strong emotional connection with a man. I've only ever done that with women. And so it was very confusing for me because I was like, if I feel this way about a girl, but my body doesn't feel that way, what am I supposed to do with that? For the longest time, I thought, maybe I could date a girl and, just have sex with guys, or do whatever with guys, because that's all it really was. It was on a physical level only. But I lost my virginity when I was 20. And I was a kid. I was like, oh, I'm not going to have sex until I'm married. Like, I want it to be with someone I love, blah, blah, blah. So when I ended up just getting drunk one night and having sex, I was like, what's the big deal? What's it all about? I didn't really connect with the act itself or the person. And ever since then, I just never really got around to having an emotional connection during sex. And I was only having sex with men because I couldn't and wouldn't have sex with women. So it's really weird and confusing, but I personally view myself as asexual because I don't crave sex, I don't enjoy sex, I don't seek it out. Usually what happens is I get drunk, I get flirty, and then, one thing leads to another, and there we are. But sober me on a day-to-day basis does not crave sex. I don't want it. I don't enjoy it. It's never been fun for me. I can, sounds bad, but, you can fake it in the moment if that's what you want to do. But it's just not enjoyable for me. And I always felt like an outcast in the gay community, only because they're very sex driven, and that's not a bad thing. I'm very sex positive, live your life, do you, have sex with whoever you want. But it's so hard to find someone to connect with you on that certain level when that level of physicality is expected. And I'm not saying that every guy would just want sex, because there are some that don't. But it always comes back around to it's been important to have sex. I'm like, oh, it's not for me. And I don't know, I just want to be in someone's presence and get to know them and go on adventures with people. And it sounds so cliche, but it is what it is at the end of the day. I don't really know what to tell people. I've never forthright come out and been to a potential partner or someone and been hey, I'm asexual. I think I've done it maybe a couple times, like on like dating profiles. I'll be like, "Oh, hey, by the way," and it always ends up being like, "What? What? You're a gay dude? How are you asexual?" And I'm like, "What? What do you mean?" I feel like I'm the only one. But I think a lot of it is like a mental mind game as well. You know, suffering from depression, anxiety, all these other things, which we'll get into later. Yeah. So essentially, I've always just viewed myself as asexual because I've never. And we're gonna circle back now. So it is confusing because things in your body happen, and as a man, those things can show. It's like, yes, I do get erections. I do get like aroused, and I feel like my body and my mind are on different wavelengths. Like for me, when that happens, it's all just biological. It's like that's just what happens in bodies. I masturbate, cool, but like it's not like an urge. It just feels like something I have to do, or else I feel like my body might be like, "What are you doing?" So it never felt like a need or an urge. It was just like a biological task that just had to be accomplished. And so I do that a lot. But I also know that if I go like a week without masturbating, I'm like, someone touch me. Then it gets to that point, and then we're back at like square one where I'm like, oh, I didn't enjoy that. It wasn't fun. And then people will say, oh, you haven't met the right one. And I'm like, when you've had as many sexual partners as I have, one, you're not really looking for the right man. Two, you're a little desensitized to the whole experience. Especially, like I said, when I was younger, I was like, I can only do this if I'm in love. And I did it without having that feeling. And so I think, therefore, I've associated it in a more negative light. But we're still trying. I'm not going to not have sex with people. And that's the other confusing thing is that I have a lot of sex. A lot. But I've had a lot of sex. And people are like, oh, well, you're very asexual. Why are you having so much sex? And again, we'll get into some other issues later, but it's never enjoyable. It's never fun. And it feels very lonely sometimes. And it's not like I'm ostracized. I don't feel like people are like, ugh, leave the asexual kid in the corner. No one puts asexuality in a corner. But it's just something that I don't feel like a lot of people can relate to for me. And I feel like I can't relate to a lot of people with it because I have yet to meet a single person that identifies as asexual. And so it's hard to make that, you know, more raw connection with someone. And I'm not ashamed of it. People have called me a whore and a slut before. I have yet to meet. We got distracted. Look at her hair, though. Look at it. She's fun. She's wild. I hate this so much already.